and welcome to the Nerd Age Podcast. This is a show where we talk about everything nerdy. My name is Jonah. I'm here with Josh.
What's up?
And Mitch.
Josh, you're here.
We are here with Josh, right? Josh,
Speak to me.
Are you there? Are you there?
I love how we're both looking at him. You're just like... And Mick. Mick's here as well. Corey has the week off. We gave him... we let him go on vacation.
Oh, geez.
Here comes the dogs.
Hello, dog.
We're gonna...
Bye, dog.
We're gonna start with some trailer talk. We got 2 trailers we're gonna discuss. Some pretty cool trailers, in my opinion. First one we're gonna start with Lord of the Rings: War of the Rohirrim. We finally got our first look at it. We've been talking about this for a while. Comes out in December. Peter Jackson, anime style animation in theaters. This looks awesome. What do you guys think? Josh, Mick, either one of you jump in. I thought this was awesome.
I think this was all 3 of ours
Most anticipated
on number 1. So
There we go.
We had seen some.
I think mine was Indiana Jones 6.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I think we'd seen some images, but yeah, we were all waiting for the trailer. So I think this looks awesome.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting. Well, I think it's probably smart of them to play into the whole this takes place in the. Yeah. This is from Peter Jackson.
Yeah.
It started out saying Peter Jackson presents. So
And it also had shots of the live action.
right,
Lord
the
of the
live
Rings.
action shows
It
you
was
all
a little jarring for me.
Yeah,
when it went from that to like the other thing. But yeah, I see what they're doing.
I understand what they're doing. They're trying to get the
It's marketing.
every man in there to be like, oh, there's another Lord of the Rings movie.
Did they say also from the people that brought you the Hobbit trilogy, or did they?
No, it didn't.
I think they ignored that part. Yeah. But yeah, the animation looks sweet. All the action looks like it's going to be cool. I was kind of surprised that
they showed so much.
Yeah, it's not like it's the main part of the story, but it's like
the setup
of the story, and it's how he gets the name Helm Hammerhand is because he one-shots a dude with his bare fist. So I was like, oh, okay, we're just going to show that. But I thought it worked well for like the setup of the story.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it looks awesome. I'm glad we're going to get the Rohan theme back because that's a great theme.
So good.
But yeah, I think it looks. I'm super stoked about it. I'm ready to.
About the theme, do you think we're actually going to see in universe
see it?
Someone play it like for the first time? They grab the horn. They're like,
No.
Yes. Like, yeah.
Yeah, for sure, definitely.
Do they have any diegetic music in the trilogy?
Of course they do.
Stuff that's like...
Oh, but not like the theme.
Like
but
the
like
Howard Shore stuff in...
No. Oh, yeah, they do play the...
Yeah, like Hagrid plays it on his flute or something. But we're talking about Lord of the Rings, not Harry Potter.
Yeah, get that filth out of here.
This looked really, really cool. I loved seeing basically the same style and architecture that we see in the live action, just anime style. That was really cool to me. Maybe I was completely in the dark about the plot. I didn't know that it was 200 years before everything. So I was like, why is Eowyn's hair red? This is weird. What's going on? But, I think I caught on pretty quick when they were...
And it's narrated.
200 years before the War of the Ring.
It's narrated by Eowyn,
yeah, Eowyn,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Miranda Otto.
Yeah, so it looked really cool. And I'm not the biggest anime fan in the fact that I don't watch a lot of anime, but the stuff I have watched, I enjoy. So it'll be cool seeing it and just the Lord of the Rings stuff in a different style that looks like it's done really well.
Yeah, we've been told you're not the biggest anime fan. Don't
Who
worry.
you been talking to?
The one thing I get why they did it, that little tease. I just thought it wasn't
necessary,
that good of a tease.
Yeah,
what does Mordor need rings? And they're putting them all away. I was like, okay, all right.
Yeah,
I feel like a cooler tease would have been better. It grabbed my attention for sure. But I just, after watching it, that's the thing that is probably the weakest for me. It's like,
It did seem a little tacked on.
That did seem, that was the one thing that was like, remember, we're Lord of the Rings. Like, I'm fine with just focusing on this story that they're trying to tell.
Yeah.
I don't need any. Remember,
Right? No,
what's to come in 200 years?
right. You don't need to. I just want to live in that story and experience that story. It seems interesting that there's a watcher.
oh yeah, that guy's an Oliphant.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, is there another one just hanging around somewhere in a pond, or is she really over by near Moria? But anyway, those are just kind of the other thing. The only thing
Is there only one watcher?
I mean, there's only one named Watcher. That's
But it could be that there's multiple.
I suppose.
Is there more than one?
There's not. What I'm saying is,
monster?
Is it
what
another
I'm
one
saying is,
Nessie?
that Tolkien never put in the thing like this is the only one.
It's the only
right.
one he wrote about, though, right?
Right.
Well, yeah,
And
but
then he just talks about the unnamed things in the world.
okay.
So yeah,
But there could be like it could be multiples. Like it could be the Watcher and the Watchess.
This sounds like headcanon to me.
Yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
saying.
I don't know.
I just wanted to know if there was like a reason for there not to be another one. Like he specifically said, like there was only one.
He does talk about the Watcher specifically talks about how they lost the Watchwives, and they lost them a long time ago, and he's been looking for them. So
They didn't die.
yeah,
They just lost them.
They just lost them.
My keys.
My one concern, I think, is which I hope they can differentiate enough, is that this isn't just like, oh, it's Eowyn,
Yeah,
because
there's even a line where she's like,
I'm the best writer. Yeah, he's like, you know nothing about war.
Seen nothing yet.
So I mean, I understand that's the story that you're telling, essentially, but I hope they can differentiate at least a little bit so that it's not just like, oh, we're just kind of rehashing.
Red hair.
Yeah, red hair.
So
Here's a question. With them doing a like little live action thing in the trailer, do you think they'll have live action Miranda Otto
holy
like
smokes.
sitting down her kid being like, let me tell you a story, and then it goes into anime. What do you think about that?
That would be so at first glance thought I would be like, that sounds weird, but then I'm like, I think that would be kind of awesome.
It'd be kind of cool, right?
If she has like a book,
It'd be a little cool.
and then it like it goes
Like
in, kind of like how
Princess
they did with the just like the Princess Bride.
He's like that.
And then they cut back, and
It's like,
he's like,
Mom, man, why are they kissing?
You're gonna like this when you get older.
That I would like that.
Interesting, right?
Just to bring it into you need one scene. You know what? This is what I wanted
For Solo.
them to do with Solo.
Yeah.
I wanted it to be Harrison Ford talking to Ben Solo at the time when he's a little kid.
Yeah, but deep faked. Like they were going to de-age Adam Driver.
Just put his face on a little kid's face. No, like that's what I would have, shirtless, obviously.
Yeah.
He's just all packed.
That's what I wanted them. I guess some people would say it's cheesy, but I guess I just kind of, if it's done well,
I think for certain stories that they're telling it works.
It's going to be like,
Let's go
Wayne's
back in time.
yeah. But I'd be down with that.
That'd be kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think especially if they put Faramir in there,
Yeah.
that would be sick.
What's his name? David
Wenham?
Wenham?
When in Rome.
David Wenham Rome.
But yeah, that'd be sick.
It looks sick. I'm excited for it. Let us know what you think.
Is
Wherever
Howard Shore doing the music?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Or are they just
But I think they're
themes?
using the themes.
Okay.
There you go. Hans Zimmer's actually doing it. He's going to add drums
Go.
to it. Ba-ba-bum-bum.
Well, you saw the electric. You saw.
Sorry about that. Sorry if that hurt your ears. So yeah, let us know what you think about that movie. That's going to be a great Christmas movie. I can't wait to go to.
Yeah.
Were we watching it in IMAX?
Oh heck yeah!
Yeah.
It's going to remind me of Lord of the Rings. We got to.
Is this like a big release or is it like kind of?
It's full
I think it's, yeah.
theatrical.
Yeah. All right.
That's the one thing I'm concerned about. I don't know how many people are going to go watch this, and I want it to do really well, but I don't know.
Well, I wanted to do well because then we can I just want a bunch of other stories. in animation.
That'd be great. So hopefully it does well.
I want Gollum to sit down with a fish and tell him the story of his life 200 years ago.
But him back and forth to Smeagol and Gollum.
Yeah, exactly.
The next trailer we're going to talk about is Secret Level. Is that what it's called?
Yes.
And that came out at Gamescom. Josh texted it to me, and I was like, what is this? Kind of nuts. My favorite thing was it had Mega Man in there. As a Nintendo fan and someone who grew up playing Mega Man, I was like, okay, this is really cool. It's an anthology series, going to be on Prime. I can't remember. It's got like Mega Man, Pac-Man, God of War stuff, Warhammer. I mean, there's a ton of stuff in there. I don't know much about it, but it looks amazing. Like the animation, again, looks incredible. What do you guys think? You guys saw the trailer as well. What do you guys think?
Well, I said this before the podcast, but I just saw like the opening shot of it, and I thought it was a Plagueis thing because whoever character that is in the very beginning, it might have resembled him a little bit. So I had no idea what it was going in, but it's a really interesting concept. Anything anthology is always kind of interesting because it's like kind of one-off stuff and gives you a little extra of, whatever stuff you're interested in. And like you said, this has like tons of different characters. So I think there's something for everybody. Have they announced every episode they're doing, or
they haven't announced everyone? Like they did a quick shot of the studios that are involved.
Yeah.
So I think for sure, well, we know Mega Man, Pac-Man, Sifu, which was a fighting game. That just came out, I think, last year or the year before. And then Sony Studios. So there
was Ghost of Tsushima in there.
There was a shot of Kratos and...
Kratos.
Yeah. Kratos and Jin Sakai from Ghost of Tsushima. Armored Core is another one that's confirmed. That's the one with the guy that looked like Keanu Reeves. I mean, I'm guessing it's Keanu Reeves.
Oh, that's definitely him. Absolutely.
And then D&D.
I heard him go, whoa.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm thinking I'm back. But yeah, the D&D, then Warhammer. So there's a couple other ones in there. Oh, Outer Worlds is one. I don't know if you played that game or not.
And there's one like...
Spelunky.
Yeah, Spelunky.
That's a side-scrolling indie game. So that seems kind of like an interesting one to pick.
Is that what Batman wanted to do?
Yeah.
Spelunking. Cave diving?
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I'm super excited for it. I love animation just in general. Like the vision stuff is awesome for Star Wars. So to see it in this with video games is a really cool idea. I hope we get more of it. And it was a really cool. So for the presentation, it's Tim Miller. So the director from Deadpool. It's his studio
with the Love, Death, and Robots.
Yeah, so that's the same studio.
Same studio that did that.
Okay.
So it's
That makes sense.
Blur Studio, and so he was like, we've been working on this for 3 years. He's like, we love video games because they did a bunch of old like Quake cinematics. And that studio's worked on a bunch of video game cinematics in the past. So he's like, we're super passionate about video games. He was like getting choked up, like even talking about it, which was kind of cool. He was like, I get really emotional talking about this. He's like, it means a lot to us. And so he's like, I can finally reveal it.
That's cool.
So yeah, I'm super excited for it. I think it looks awesome. Yeah, I'm interested to see like different people's takes on, the Mega Man one looks interesting. But yeah, I think it'll be really cool. I'm super excited for it.
Yeah, I'm wondering how long the episodes are going to be. Because if it's
probably 10, 15 minutes is the problem.
Do you think they're all kind of in the same animation style? Or do you think they'll each take on...
It looked like they were similar.
It looks like there was... Yeah, it looks like they were all mostly the same. I think the Sifu one looked a little bit more almost cartoony, more like the video game. And then most of them, though, looked like they were CGI.
Because even the Pac-Man one looked...
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I just wonder if they are going to have episodes that are like really different like they do like with Visions or Love, Death, and Robots. But I think either way.
I don't think so because it's one director doing all of them, right?
One direction?
I don't know.
I mean,
I'm not sure if they announced that at all.
But yeah, it was really cool. I think we got both of those trailers that we've talked about it's been a while since we've gotten two amazing trailers, one for Blast or Trash. Both of them are blasts, right? We're in agreement on this?
Of course.
Yeah, they all look great. We're going to jump into some news now. Let's start with all the Gamescom stuff. We'll get all that, and then after that, we're going to talk about the Acolyte news of it being canceled and some other things. But we're going to start with some of the gaming news that dropped. Josh, what do you got for us?
Secret Level was announced. No.
Really?
I think for me, that was probably the most
biggest
exciting
thing.
thing about it. There was a couple stuff that popped up. I wouldn't say anything like
Groundbreaking.
world shattering. Like the very first thing they announced was Borderlands 4. They just did like a teaser announcement.
Didn't that movie bomb?
That movie bombed.
We all knew it would.
I think the second week it made like 10 million at the box office or something like that. It had
Probably less than that.
Had a really big
it had
budget.
a crazy drop off.
Dang.
Yeah,
Crazy drop off is crazy when you didn't have a good opening.
Oh yeah, the opening was brutal. But yeah, I mean some of that stuff. Yeah, Borderlands. People love the Borderlands games.
It's a great series.
So yeah, they just announced just a teaser, so that'll come out in like 3 or 4 years, whatever, however long it takes to develop games these days. The Indiana Jones is coming to PS5.
Really?
Yeah, so they said it's.
I thought that was an exclusive thing.
It wasn't exclusive because it was the
Microsoft owns.
Yeah, but
and so they
Xbox is no more, guys. They're done.
Oh, okay.
In other news,
Yeah.
this just in.
So spring 2025, that's when that's going to come out.
I still don't know if I'm interested in it. The first person thing just throws me off so much.
Yeah.
I just don't know about it.
It's similar with the Arkham VR game. Did
Same
you see
thing.
that?
Same
I
thing.
was like, this doesn't look good. It was, first of all, I'm going to get a headache.
I was gonna say that would make me throw up.
But I'm
I
like,
could not do that.
but I'm like, no, it doesn't look. Even the gameplay, like seeing his hands being like constantly, I'm like,
It just
I don't like it.
There are
No.
certain characters that really lend themselves to a third person gaming style. Batman was one of them, and Indiana Jones is the other. That's it.
Those two,
Those are the only ones.
not Han Solo, not anyone else.
Heck no.
Indy and Batman.
Yeah. You already said it. The Arkham VR game, which I was like,
Isn't that the second one they've done?
I don't think so. I thought this was the first one. Like takes place in the Arkham.
I thought there was one like right after Arkham Knight released.
I don't think it was a game. I think they did like
Was it like a little demo
they
thing?
had like
or
a
something?
demo.
This is like a full
kind of like the
game.
Vader demo that they
right.
did.
This is like a full game. though.
There's the supposedly.
Yeah. So yeah, they're marketing as a narrative experience. Like a full on game, basically.
And it's Rocksteady doing it?
I don't think so.
Another reason.
But Rocksteady did Suicide Squad, so
Yeah. But they did they did 3 other games that were really good.
that's true.
Some of the other stuff, there's a new game called Herdling. You're literally just herding some weird animals around. That's kind of cool.
Cattle dog or something?
No, they almost look like I can't think of the Star Wars creature on the Sand People ride.
Oh, the bantha?
Yes. They kind of look like banthas.
Like a bantha.
Yeah, I should have known. Some of the other stuff, there's like it's basically like Overwatch, but for Marvel characters. It looks, I think they're a couple years a little late for that one, for it to come out.
Is Overwatch still like a...
Overwatch 2 came out a couple months ago, and it's not very great.
Could not get into Overwatch. It was never really my thing.
One of the other things they announced, Starfield is getting an expansion. So that was one of those games that people were like, it's going to be amazing. And it's kind of like, eh. Like, I think the reception was pretty mild on it.
Well, that was a game that was announced like forever ago,
Yeah,
right?
it was Bethesda's next huge open world space. So everyone was waiting for it.
I feel like what happens a lot with those is, sometimes the launch isn't that great, but then they like start adding stuff on,
Right.
or tweaking it, and then it gets just
Right.
better and better. Like, because I think the idea is cool of basically, you know, your Bethesda stuff, but
In space.
in space.
In space.
In space. I saw a huge spider on your wall, and I'm trying to ignore it.
Really? Where?
It crawled around the corner.
Was it that big? It was like that.
Oh, you saw it too?
Yeah. It went through and went through the
me out.
back of the.
It looked big to me.
If there's no podcast next week, you know what happened. The
Arachnophobia.
spiders got us.
We need.
We all got eaten.
Yeah, we just spray in here, you know.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know, you just got to live with the spiders.
That's right.
Sometimes. Other than that, there honestly wasn't too many crazy. I mean, they announced a bunch of stuff. Not really too many stuff that stood out. Black Ops 6 gameplay or campaign announcement. It's like,
I didn't even know there was a Black Ops 5.
Well, Black Ops 6, baby. Get excited.
Oh, man.
Indie wise, there was a couple of cool looking indie games that got announced. Oh, Squirrel with a Gun. That looks like a cool indie game. You're literally a squirrel with a gun.
Is it a first person or third person? Because he's also another character that is better in third person.
It's third person.
All right, there you go.
So you run around shooting people.
Is it like
nuts?
Is it like realistic looking or is it like cartoony?
It's like in between. You know what I mean? Like it's not like the people look kind of floppy a little bit, but it's not like Unreal Engine.
What was that like stuffed animal war game? It was like Bad Fur Day or something. Did you ever play that? Conker's Bad Fur Day? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
That was kind of the same. But those are like stuffed animals.
It's kind of like that, but you're an actual squirrel.
But you're an actual squirrel. Do you have a name?
No, just squirrel.
Okay.
But yeah, that's Civilization 7. If you like Civilization games.
Nope.
You don't like Civilization? You don't like Civ? You don't like Civ, bro?
I know a lot of people that love it.
Yeah. Is that why you don't like it?
No comment.
But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Nice. Well, that's going to do it for the Gamescom stuff. Why is my voice like this?
Oh, yeah, welcome back.
That's going to do it to him.
Jonah Gang.
Man in the box, get back in that box. Now we're going to drop in some news that some Star Wars stuff. We're going to go, there's a few things that we're going to talk about. The first one, the big one, Deadline reported yesterday that the Acolyte is not moving forward with a season 2, which people keep saying like the Acolyte was canceled. Let's be clear about this. The Acolyte 2 was never greenlit.
Right.
Like there's nothing to be canceled at this point. It's just Deadline is reporting that according to their sources, Lucasfilm has decided not to continue with the second season. That doesn't mean the story's not going to be told in a different series or we're not going to get a Plagueis series. It just means season 2 of the Acolyte is not going to happen. Was never greenlit, so it's technically not canceled. What do you guys think of this news? I have some thoughts, but I'll let you guys go first. Are you guys disappointed with this news? Are you like, okay, that's fine? What do you guys think?
I would say I'm like, I could take it or leave it. It wasn't a show that by the end I was like, I gotta see season 2. Like Ahsoka was like that, where like, I want to see what's next. With this, it was just like the last, handful of episodes really kind of dropped off. So my interest in it dropped off. So, and the fact that it's not going forward, I don't think is really that surprising because I would say most of what I've seen review wise out there is everybody hates it. I didn't really hate it, but I can understand people's problems with the show. But
it's also the least watched Star Wars show. Has the worst numbers.
I think it had like a 12% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes.
Which at the same time with that is kind of like
right.
With the amount of people review bombing.
Right.
I don't know if you can take into account that stuff as much.
But yeah, me personally, I'm not hugely upset about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think probably the key figure to look at is the views. Like if they're saying their viewership was like really low, then that's what you have to because you can't really go based off of the like you said, the ratings or the Rotten Tomatoes because there were so many people review bombing it. Yeah. I think the critic score is like 60 something.
I thought it was 84.
Oh, really? Is it higher? Because like the audience score is like brutal.
Yeah.
Because it's like people are just review bombing them. I think I'm similar to you, Mick, where I'm like the season ended and I wasn't like, I can't wait to follow these characters and hear more about the story. You know what I mean? I was kind of like, I like some things. I think they missed on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I thought the action was really cool.
Yeah.
I like the aesthetics of the show. I wasn't a huge fan of the writing in a lot of situations. Like it was kind of hit or miss. So I think for that reason, I'm kind of like, like it sucks that, it sucks. We don't get to see Khmer more, because I think he was probably the standout out of the people that survived. Whose story was going to continue. Him and Basil.
Also Yoda.
Yeah.
I
He had a really good point.
I saw a tweet where someone was like, "We're never gonna find out who that guy was."
What master is that?
Yeah.
That's funny. But yeah, I mean, I think it might be a blessing in disguise.
Yes, it is.
I think it is a blessing in disguise, because we can get a Plagueis story told. Because it's not like they're... Listen, people have been wanting Plagueis for...
That's exactly true.
Forever. And so now that we have him in live action, like people are going to want that story told. And hopefully it'll be told in more capable hands.
Yeah, that's the thing. I've heard a lot of people being like, well, no, we're not going to get Plagueis. I was like, no. The biggest story that they have in their hands and the potential to do is the Plagueis with Palpatine and how that all happened. You have a direct connection to Palpatine himself in the prequel saying, have you ever heard, about Darth Plagueis the Wise? Like, it's a connection to that moment. You have a show or even a movie about Plagueis and Sheev Palpatine. They're making that. They're making that show or they're making that movie. That's going to happen. The good thing, though, is that it's going to be in someone else's hands. This show would have too much baggage with already people hating it if they announced Acolyte 2, the story of Plagueis. Like, it wouldn't work because you already have people that don't like this show. And my biggest thing is there's extremes in Star Wars right now. There's the one side that hates everything they do, and there's the other side that if you don't like something, they accuse you of being a racist, a sexist, and I just hate the discourse around Star Wars. The fact is, we talk about this all the time on the show. We want to be the Bendu, somewhere in the middle. Like, there's good things that Disney has done. There's some bad things they've done. Like, you can appreciate things in Star Wars and not have to, like, love everything or hate everything. And so there's this aspect of this allows us to kind of get something different, especially if Dave Filoni's in charge now. He wasn't in charge when they greenlit this. So I do think he's going to be able to craft something and get something better done. Also, if you're spending $180 million on a TV show and the numbers aren't good, it doesn't matter what people are complaining about. People didn't watch the show. So that means you didn't get normal people, normies, to watch a show. They weren't interested in it. So that's what you need. That's what Star Wars and Disney needs to do. You got to get the general audience invested and wanting to watch. No one wanted to watch this. And the other thing, there were so many people that said, if you don't like it, don't watch it. Well, a lot of people didn't watch it. They did that. So then you can't complain and be like, well, they cancel it because it didn't have the numbers. So I just think the discourse around it is, there's so many people that are like, well, Disney gave in to, the racists and all that stuff. And I'm like, no one watched it. And we watched it and we were excited for it. But the reality is that sorry, the dog is doing something crazy and no one is paying attention. So yeah, it's just I just hate the discourse around Star Wars right now because it's these two extremes yelling at each other, and then the people in the middle are stuck with, like, well, do I side with this group that's being a bunch of idiots? Do I side with this group that's being a bunch of idiots? So hopefully Skeleton Crew was just a breath of fresh air and people like it and understand, hey, it's just a kid's story. But who knows? I do think, though, they're going to do Plagueis. They just don't want him saddled to the baggage of the power of many.
Yeah, at the end of the day, Disney is a company and they're looking to make a profit.
Yeah.
And so if they have a movie that doesn't do well, they're not going to make a second one. It's the same thing.
Man, whoever's like telling these people to not watch it if they don't like it, who's training these people? I'd be like, watch the show and tell me how much you hate it.
Yeah.
Just watch it over and over again so you can really tell me how bad it is.
Repeat views.
That's what I watched. I saw a video of your favorite guy, Theory.
Oh my God.
And that's what he said. He said, I got so many people that were telling me, if you're going to hate on it, then don't watch it. He's like, okay. So a lot of people didn't watch it because you said, if you don't like it, don't watch it. He's like, and that's what happened. And he's got a point there. Like, if you're going to say, if you don't like it, don't watch it. Okay. Well, then the reality is that show made a lot of mistakes. There were some really cool things, but there were some things that left me scratching my head that drove me nuts. It doesn't, if that's going to be the case, you can't get past on just cool action scenes and cool lightsaber fights, because that was great. But at the end of the day, when the writing doesn't make sense or characters do things that doesn't make sense, you end up with this weird feeling of like, why are they doing that? Why did that happen? And the amount of times that I watched an episode and I was like, that was really cool, but why did that happen?
Yeah.
That would just drive, and me trying to figure out why they did that. And then in the next episode, realizing like, oh no, they don't give you a reason why they did that. They just flipped like that. Yeah. That leaves you like not satisfied in the storytelling. And that's not good. Like, if that happens in any story, it's not good when you're like, well, that didn't make any sense. Why are the characters doing that? So that was the biggest issue for me. And I think a lot of people were that way too, had that same feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other Star Wars news I wanted to quickly talk about is Dave Filoni apparently wrote, along with Jon Favreau, The Mandalorian and Grogu. Some people are like, oh, great, Dave Filoni doesn't know how to write stuff. But I'm like, yeah, I'm down for it.
Wait, is that like a thing that people say?
I saw some people online being like, well, Ahsoka sucked. Okay, here's the thing. The people that really love The Acolyte, they're upset because people are like, let Filoni cook, he's in charge now. So those people that are upset are now being like, he's not good enough. So do
they not know that he was like involved with the first Mandalorian seasons?
Well, yeah, but it's that's what I'm saying. The factions yelling at each other, they don't care. It's like you yelled at Headland, I'm going to yell at Filoni. Jeez. So that's the case. But the other thing that came out was that why can't I think of his name? The guy that plays Boba Fett.
Tamora Morrison.
Yes. He said that he's not in Mandalorian and Grogu, and a lot of people were upset about it. I'm like, he doesn't need to be in it. We don't need to have Boba Fett show up in this movie.
We got Mando.
There's already plenty of other...
We got the real Boba Fett.
Yeah. But the thing is, there's going to be so many people that show up in this movie. Like, you're going to have Thrawn, you're going to have Mando, Grogu, you're going to have Bo-Katan, you're going to have all that. You can't just have like, hey, let's go to Tatooine. We got to go see Boba, you know?
Maybe it's a misdirect, and Boba Fett's not going to be in it, but Jango Fett is. And it's a clone.
There.
It's just his head.
It's like,
or maybe he's Rex.
I mean, could be. But it's interesting. To me, it's like, we don't need, and a lot of people are like, well, they ruined the character with the Book of Boba Fett. It's like, no, they didn't. It's just that show.
They ruined Vespas with that show.
Yeah. So, anyways, what do you guys think of the Dave Filoni writing the movie with Favreau and that Boba Fett doesn't show up?
I think that's great. he was highly involved with Mando 1 and 2 and I guess 3. I have my problems with 3, but the first 2 are like some of the best Star Wars we've gotten, especially in the Disney era. So I think it's great that they're continuing that partnership through, I think, to kind of the end of all of this Mandalorian stuff that they've done. To me, it makes total sense. So I don't know why people are. I mean, like you said, people are stupid and they'll hate whatever. But I think it's a good idea to keep that going, and I think that'll keep the same flavor that we've come to enjoy from the Mandalorian series.
Yeah, I agree.
In terms of Tamora Morrison, I agree. It's like we don't need 1,000 characters in the movie. And if I'm Din Djarin and I'm like, oh crap, I need someone to back me up, I'm calling Luke.
Yeah.
I'm not calling the clone of me. Not the literal clone, but you know what I mean. So, yeah.
Did they announce if Lizzo's coming back? That's what I really want to know. Tamora Morrison, I don't care. Bring Lizzo back. You know?
That's right.
Maybe she can play the flute. I mean, you know. And Sice noodles. I'm excited for it because I feel like some of the better episodes for Mando are the ones that Dave wrote.
Yeah.
And that's just because I like Dave Filoni and I like the sensibilities that he has in writing and doing stories just with Clone Wars and stuff like that. So I'm excited for it. I think, for some reason there is that like group of fans out there that are like, everyone just loves everything Filoni does. I think he sucks.
Because it's just nostalgia.
It's almost like it's like a hipster thing of like,
Oh,
well, you like Filoni? It's like the popular thing to do to hate.
I like Mumford & Sons before they were they sold out.
Yeah.
I was at their first Coachella show. Right. Now they're sellouts. Yeah, exactly.
So it's the hipster thing to do. But yeah, I'm excited for it. Do we know the 2026?
2026.
Okay.
Is Favreau directing?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're not letting my boy Filoni direct?
No, Filoni's doing his own movie. Which, again...
What movie?
What do you mean? Filoni has his own movie that he's doing. That he's doing Heir to the Empire.
Oh, okay. That's right. I forgot about that.
Did they confirm that?
Yeah. Well, that he's doing his... Yeah. There's the title.
It's not Mando and Grogu. It's not Mando and Grogu.
No.
Are they not the same thing?
No. Favreau's directing... How do you guys not... What? We have a podcast that talks about Star Wars for crying out loud, guys.
Listen, man, there's a lot of stuff going on, right?
John Favreau is doing 2020... Maybe it's 2025 that it comes out.
Really?
Well, maybe it's
Next
2026.
Well, I mean, they had footage for D23, so...
It started filming already. They've been a week filming.
It probably gets pushed.
So 2026 probably.
Yeah.
But John Favreau's doing The Mandalorian and Grogu, which then the Rey movie comes out, I think, and then Filoni's movie. Or flipped. Filoni and then Rey's movie. Anyways, the Mando and Grogu movie is supposed to set up Filoni's doing.
Oh, that's right.
Because Ahsoka season 1 and 2 set up what is happening. They're setting up what's going on in the universe for his movie. That's why I'm thinking the Filoni movie is going to have Anakin in it. It's going to have the Mortis gods and all that kind of stuff.
And Luke?
Yes. Which this is tinfoil hat, but no one has been able to refute this.
Try me.
Okay. I believe that the Book of Boba Fett
is all a dream.
No, they last minute changed the ending of that movie, of that show, and that affected
like
the quality of it. Yes.
How did it end? I don't remember.
It ends
the
where
showdown on
they just sent Grogu. R2 drops Grogu.
Right.
So there were behind the scenes stuff of Luke filming, Mark Hamill filming stuff in Jabba's palace. And so what I think happened is because people were complaining about, do you overuse Luke? Like, is it not become special? And what I think happened is they originally were going to have Luke bring Grogu, and then they're attacked, and Luke defends. Well, Luke helps Mando out and Boba Fett out, and you have that kind of them joining forces. But around the same time, there was starting to be the rumors that Dave Filoni was going to do Heir to the Empire and that whole movie. And so I think what they decided to do is like, we don't want to keep showing Luke in these things to get people used to it. It needs to still, like when that happens in the movie, that needs to be like a surprise to people. So I think what they did was they cut Luke out of it, just had R2 drop off Grogu, and then makeshifted something there to be like, oh, it's in the town now instead of at Jabba's palace. Again, there's behind the scenes shots of Luke, and there were rumors of Luke showing up at the end.
The Return of the Jedi behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Nope. It was old.
They were doing a
it was-
remaster.
It was
Palace.
old Mark Hamill and
Whose palace?
in Jabba's palace.
You were saying it really real
Jabba.
real southern.
And so,
That's Jabba's palace.
I think that's what they did
I
because they
think-
wanted to keep it like, oh, we can't keep doing this same trick
Every season finale.
every
it's,
season finale.
A nice wing shows up.
I could totally buy that because all of that, looking back, I mean, during it too, it seemed very like janky and like this doesn't make sense. Why would Luke not take back?
Yeah, how would he just send R2 there? That was a weird
Yeah.
thing, and the scene is really weird too.
Well, here's the thing. You know, he was sitting there. He had to do admission work for all his students. He had to do some paperwork, and he's like, "R2, I'm swamped, buddy. You gotta take Grogu back to Tatooine. I gotta finish grading these papers."
Why did he turn into Mark Wahlberg?
What are you gonna say?
Why did he turn into Mark Wahlberg?
Oh.
I'm not gonna kill you. But yeah, that's gonna do it for the Star Wars stuff. Hey, we're gonna jump in now to some reviews. What do you want to do first? Want to do Alien Romulus, and then end with Caped Crusader?
Sure.
Let's
Okay.
do Alien Romulus.
Josh and I watched Alien Romulus. Mick couldn't cut it. Too many spiders. Too many
scary.
spiders.
Too many
Josh
leg,
and I
leg
watched-
crawling things.
Alien Romulus, and we're going to just talk about it. No spoilers here. We're just going to do a quick just review. If you like Alien movies, I think this is a great movie. If you don't like Alien movies, you're not going to like it. This feels like kind of hearkening back to the first Alien. Some may say it's a retread. Some may say it's kind of The Force Awakens, which is kind of like the same beats, but it's an Alien movie. I did my ranking of all the Alien movies on our TikTok.
Whoa.
I have Prometheus as was number 2 all time.
Come on. No.
And yes, and the more I think about it, it keeps going higher. Here's the thing: Alien Romulus, the acting is great. Visually, it looks good. It feels like an Alien movie. There's something that they do in this movie that kind of pulls you out of the movie. They kind of pull a Tarkin. A character shows up that you're like, he's not alive anymore, and you can tell. But that's probably the my biggest critique of it is that those scenes pulled me out. But I really enjoyed watching it. I thought it was a lot of fun. Jump scares, visually looks amazing. I really enjoyed it. Josh, what did you think?
Yeah, I think I really enjoyed it as well. I mean, I like the Alien movies. Some about spooky space, you know?
No one can hear you scream.
That's right. No one can hear you scream. But but yeah, just like the production work of like the way the planet looks, what they start out on, the space station, all the doors. You know what I mean? It sounds
All the doors.
Yeah, dude. All
Highlight
of
of the movie were all the doors.
No, but scary. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's something about
Yes,
the
the
sets that they
aesthetic of it,
build.
yeah.
The aesthetic of it is like, this is an Alien movie. And it's done really well. The acting is great. The guy that plays Andy,
Yeah.
I think he's like the standout for me. Like, just an amazing actor. Like, just was so good. Like, I kept just being like, man, that's what a great scene. Like, just his acting's great.
And David Johnson or
I think so. David Johnson, something like that. Yeah, I don't know. I was going to look up what else he's in because I was like, man, he did great in that role. But yeah, I don't feel like it's completely a retread in a lot of ways. But I do think that it's
David Johnson. Sorry.
Davidson Johnson. But yeah, I mean, just there's really good moments, like so just some really good scares, I guess. Lots of tension. And yeah, the whole time I was just kind of like, oh, wow, this is like, it didn't feel slow at all. I feel like it was paced well. Yeah, some real spooky stuff in there.
How long is the movie?
2 hours.
Yeah.
Like flyby kind of thing.
Yeah, I think it went by.
Yeah, it went by quick.
The one thing I will say, so complain about alien movies. Everyone does stupid stuff in alien movies. And I can kind of excuse it a little bit because I'm like, I mean, people were, you know, when you see people are in danger, they do dumb stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like,
Look, an alien wiener snake.
yeah. But like a lot of that too is
You
also
watched Prometheus?
I watched it with you.
Oh yeah,
I was there.
Okay. No, we're not defending Prometheus. Okay, continue, Josh.
Yeah, we're not defending Prometheus. But yeah, people aren't like, there's no character in this movie that I was like, oh, I don't buy what he just did. You know, there's always sometimes something where you're like, why would you do that? That was stupid.
Like, it makes you want to yell at the screen, like,
Yeah, like,
don't go in the room.
Don't look in that.
Don't poke that
Yeah,
thing.
it's an egg. Don't put your head there.
Don't eat it.
Yeah.
It hasn't been refrigerated.
So there was nothing like that.
No, like I feel like there's even characters in there. You're like, yeah, I hate you, but you're like, it's like earned kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Like, and they don't do, like they're not like obnoxious in any way that you're like, I'm not buying it. But yeah, I thought it was really good. I really enjoyed it. It's definitely up towards I mean, it's not very hard with all the alien movies to rank them. What's all the Alien versus Predators at the bottom?
Yeah. Requiem down, Alien versus Predator. I think I have Alien Resurrection. I got Alien 3. Then I've got, I want to say I have
Covenant,
Romulus, or it might be Romulus Covenant. And then Alien 3. No.
You already said Alien 3. Aliens.
Did I ever put Resurrections on here?
Yeah, you put it towards the bottom.
Okay. Alien number 1, Prometheus 2, Aliens 3, Covenant Romulus, I think is what I have.
I don't know about Prometheus being 2.
The more I watch it, the better it gets.
Are you saying Aliens, the second one, and then 3?
No, he's saying Alien.
An Alien number 1.
The first
original,
one.
Ridley Scott.
1.
Yes, Prometheus number 2 is the second
Second
best.
is Aliens.
Aliens,
The
James
second one.
Cameron. Then I've got Covenant. Then I've got Romulus. Then I got Alien 3.
Oh, you're just saying 3 is okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I was confused.
Aliens 3.
That's the thing about Prometheus is still an alien movie, but what it does better than every other one is that it gives you lore and it tries to do something different and it tries to do something deeper. Like,
Yeah.
Ridley Scott really asks these like philosophical questions in this movie that he doesn't just throw them out there and like, oh, I'm just going to throw these things. It's like he actually has, as a viewer, you think about these things, whether that's where do we come from, whether that's man becoming God by creating, trying to impersonate God, creation, all that kind of stuff. The talk about like being barren and not being able to have kids, but creating life, like how that dynamic of creating life versus giving life, that whole thing, the whole aspect of that is crazy, but to be like the aliens wanted to destroy the earth because you crucified Jesus. That to me is a crazy thing that he threw in that movie.
Is that in the actual movie or did it get cut?
That's in the movie. Like the deleted scene is cut.
Rewatch.
The deleted
I don't remember Jesus being in Prometheus.
The deleted scene
I don't remember Jim
that
Caviezel.
explains it more, but the hints are there. Like when they put the thing and they say, when did this guy, when did this happen? He's like, oh, about 2,000 years ago. And so if you take the
Do the math.
it's like
Carry the 2.
It is like there's this whole
Jesus.
aspect. Even her wearing the cross and her not being able to have kids, her name being Elizabeth, and just like in the Bible,
Hey,
all those things.
We said we weren't defending Prometheus.
Anyways,
So Prometheus is number 2.
that's the reason it goes deeper than on so many more levels and still gives you a great alien movie. And Michael Fassbender is incredible in that movie as David.
He's pretty good.
Anyways, yeah, if you like alien movies, Alien Romulus definitely worth it for us. I'd give it I can't remember what I gave it. 8.2, I think is what I'd go with.
I'm going to give it an 8.5.
Nice.
Wow.
It's good. We're on the same page.
I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10.
Perfect movie.
Perfect movie.
Spiders.
No notes.
Yeah.
Were the face huggers creepy?
Yeah, face huggers are
When
always
they're running.
creepy.
Oh man, there were a couple times I went.
Yeah.
Last thing we're going to talk about: Batman, Caped Crusader. Josh and I have finished it.
Yes.
Mick is on.
Just finished episode 7.
Okay, so we won't go into spoilers on the end. We'll just kind of talk vaguely about what we thought about it. Mick, you go first. And so we talked all about Alien Romulus, and you didn't get to talk.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I think so far I've been very pleased with the show. Honestly, the start of it was a little like I felt like they were kind of trying to nail the Batman animated series feel, and I didn't think they were quite getting there. But I think like episode 4 through what I'm on now, it really felt like they were getting that tone that the original series had. Man, I think this is the closest I've heard someone sound like Kevin Conroy.
Yeah, he's really good.
They cast like the perfect guy for it. He does the great, Batman gruff gravel that you would expect, but he also does a really good Bruce Wayne where it's clearly a different persona that he's doing.
It's a little higher Harvey.
Yeah.
And a little,
but man, it sounds so close to Kevin Conroy, but still obviously
unique.
It's his own take on it, which is great. I don't think doing just an impersonation is ever really a good way to go. I think the art style is great. I love that they're like, it's set in like the 30s or 40s or whatever time. Whatever that is, it just lends itself so well to the Batman character. I love seeing his bat cave that is so stripped down.
Yeah.
He has a cork board with, notes on it and stuff. Like there's really no computers
and
or
a phone
anything.
where you have to transfer
A phone. He's got the like dial where he's looking at newspapers. Yeah. Like I think when there gets too much technology, it kind of takes away some of that natural detective work that Batman does.
Yeah, like sonar with cell phones.
Like a submarine.
Like a submarine, Mr. Wayne.
So I've really started enjoying the kind of the second half of where I'm at.
Nice.
Some of the more detailed stuff, I really enjoyed their just building up of how corrupt the police officers are, especially Bullock and Flass. I really enjoyed how the mayor's like stepping in and kind of putting Gordon to the side as just kind of the face and not really giving him any power. I really like that kind of aspect of it. There's some choices I don't really, just weird choices. Like I don't understand why there's so many changes to like the classical characters that we know, like Penguin, Oswalda for like the first almost all of the episode. I was like, okay, this is Oswald's mom, and I'm about to see the real Penguin. And then it was at the end of the episode. I was like, oh, I guess
that was the real Penguin.
That was Penguin. Okay. Yeah. So there's just certain things like that in the show. I'm like, I don't know if like it just feels like a change for a change sake. Because I thought at first it was like, this is, a direct prequel to the animated series, and clearly it's not, which is fine. Like that's not a big deal. But it's obviously in that same vein of, all those older animated series.
Yeah, I didn't have a problem with it until I heard Bruce Timm's reason for doing it.
Oh.
So when I first watched it, I was like, whatever. Like I thought she was actually kind of ruthless when she kills her own son.
Yeah, that was nuts.
Puts him in the suitcase.
That was brutal.
And I was like, oh, okay, first episode, all right. So I thought that was kind of interesting that everyone's like scared of the Penguin. And you're like, yeah, well, she murdered her own son. Like, I get it. So I thought the character, I was fine with it. But then Bruce Timm, when they asked about it, he said, well, we realized that besides Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn, Batman doesn't have very many good female villains. And so they were like, so we thought maybe
Talia al Ghul.
Well, and so he's like, that's what he said. He said Catwoman, Poison Ivy, and Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn.
We don't. Batman doesn't have very many great female villains, so we said let's make one of the villains female. And I was like, I would rather you make a new villain like you did with Harley Quinn.
Yeah,
like Bruce Timm made Harley Quinn, or take one of those villains that you think is not very good that's a female and make her good. Like you can, but it just seemed like a silly reason to do it. Like, oh well, like, or even like I would have loved them do like Scarface and the ventriloquist.
Yeah, that would have been
like, why would you not
good.
have? You could have
good.
like Scarface be the Scarface, but the ventriloquist be a female. Like that would be interesting. Penguin is too well known to be like, oh, let's just make her a female. And the name was kind of Oswalda was kind of just silly. So I liked it. I
called her Cindy.
At first, I didn't bother me, but then when he gave his response, I was like, well, that's kind of stupid.
Yeah, the thing
because
that
I thought they did a good job making her like a bad person. Like, it just, I don't know. Like, I didn't like the argument.
I mean, what he's saying is there's no popular women. There's not a lot of popular women villains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Or
you're saying, he could do a deep dive and make someone more interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I thought for the most part, I really liked the villains. I really liked the Clayface one. I thought that one was really good.
Great. That was great.
I liked the Penguin. The other ones they do, I thought was good. I enjoyed, like you said, the animation, the voice acting, all worked really good. It gave me those vibes. I needed to see some more police blimps. I didn't get enough of those.
No police blimps.
But I love the music. I thought there were moments where I was like, this is amazing music, like Firebug instead of Firefly.
Yeah.
Like even there's a scene in that where he's burning up the basement or whatever, and the score there was just like, it's like
it had the creepy
it's almost like opposite of what you would like. It was almost like a romantic ballad.
Yes. And it was like, I was like, man, and I played it over and over because I was like, man, I love this. So just that feel
I love arson.
of the orchestra.
I love burning.
I want to see something burn.
It just worked really good for me. I really liked it. And I think the last episode is really good. What they kind of do with the whole walkthrough with Harvey Dent and kind of seeing him wanting. They did something interesting with Harvey Dent. In the past, it's been like Harvey Dent's like a good dude, right? And then it's this one. He's more like, no, he's not a very good dude.
He's a little shiesty.
Yeah,
and I kind of like that.
Yeah.
I don't think it really changes a lot of his character. I mean, there are some iterations where like Bruce Wayne and Harvey Dent are like good pals, and then it's tragic. But I think for the most part, it doesn't really change anything that much.
I do think it was a little better in the animated series. The tragedy of it, because he's so close to Bruce, right? They're really good friends. That's what I wish Nolan would have done with The Dark Knight.
Did you hear like what their original plan was? So the guy in Batman Begins who's like friends with Rachel Dawes, who ends up getting shot at the
in the container
place. He was originally that character was supposed to be Harvey Dent, and to me that would have made a lot more sense to have like those characters
make sense
established.
at all because he got killed.
Yeah.
He got shot.
Lazarus Pit.
Did he? Only half of his face got shot off. But no, just having characters like that established earlier, and like you said, like have like more of a friendship there with Bruce, because I agree. I do like the angle of it being more of like a tragic.
That moment, I don't know why I remember this, but in the animated series, when Bruce turns, when the explosion happens, right? Because it's an explosion, and he goes, Harvey, and it closes up on this thing. Like that is what I feel like that what needed to happen in The Dark Knight. And I feel like a little bit even in this one, like them having that relationship makes that like punch of what happens to Harvey so much more, like, because the man that is Harvey is lost to Two-Face, you know, and it's like Batman lost somebody, and there's a tragedy of I'm fighting this guy that I once was really good friends with. That again, because Nolan doesn't decide to keep him on as a villain, he kind of dies. But I feel like that punch would have been better. Yeah. You know, he's like, he fell. Well, I only, you know, went to one meal with him, you know, instead of being like, man, we went to college together.
Yeah.
Or,
buddies.
You know, we were both a part of the League of Assassins in the Himalayas together, you know, something like that.
We both went and watched a ballerina.
That's right.
Some play.
She taught us some things.
What episode?
7. He's on.
Which one is that?
Did you do the circus one yet?
I just watched the Ghost.
Okay.
And then I watched, they put a hit out for
Onomatopoeia.
who they think is.
So he still has the circus one.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think the next one was like a Harvey episode, I think.
You have the certain Nocturne.
Yeah, that's the next one.
7, and then 8 is... Can't remember.
I can't remember.
Yeah, the next one I like. The one I think the last 3 are my favorites.
I think for me, the first episode, the Penguin stuff didn't bother me that much. I kind of did I liked the aspect that it brought of like her being a mother, like Mama's gonna be so mad at me. So like I thought that fits better than being like Papa. You know what I mean? Like,
and it kind of fits with. If you think of like birds, and if a baby doesn't do things, they just like throw it out of the nest.
Yeah, like kick it out of the nest.
Yeah.
I did like the scene where she threw up in her kid's mouth. That was cool.
Yeah, that was cool, dude.
Yeah.
But I thought that was cool. I think the first episode I was kind of like, okay on, but I think every single episode after that has gotten a lot better.
Yeah.
Even just like, there's a lot of endings that are like pretty sad. Like it's always a down note on all the endings of like with Commissioner Gordon where he's like, I'm not licked yet or whatever. Like, but he's like still bummed, you know, like he's sad about everything that's happening, or it has a really good, like kind of melancholy ending. I think they've nailed the noir aspect of it.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
Really cool. I really enjoyed that. And I think they've done a good job of like placing in characters like ahead of time before they reveal them. So like Harley Quinzel being in the episodes leading up to her episode. I thought that was pretty cool. Just kind of having her show up here and there, instead of just being like, she shows up.
They really nailed like just the creepiness of what she was doing.
And I like that she's not, I'm Mr. J, like annoying voice. Like she's still creepy enough where it's like, I like this version of Harley a lot because I think I'm sick and tired of
that she's bad without the Joker.
Yeah.
Right. She's doing things that aren't right. It's not like, hey, I'm a psychiatrist, and then I fall in love with the Joker, and then I become evil. It's like, no, she's doing stuff even beforehand that you're like, oh, she already has her persona of that, so it doesn't need the Joker in that situation. I thought that was also unique.
I thought the Catwoman episode was really good.
Yeah.
And like I wasn't expecting it to be the origin of, you know, Batman kind of a thing, but I thought they played that really well. I like when he punched the dude. And he's like, man, you're asking for it. And he's like, duh.
Well, what I like too is I liked how Batman is kind of inspiring all the villains. Like even on certain, like even Catwoman, like everything she does, she's like, she sees a newspaper, she sees his car, everything. So it gives that element of like, even though he's doing something good, you know, like everyone's used this in the Batman lore, but it's like there's copycats. Like once they see that, so I kind of like how what he's doing is inspiring the same thing that they did in the Joker movie. Like the Joker inspires evil. You know, Batman is kind of trying to help, but he's still giving people ideas.
Yeah,
you know, and I liked that there's that influence that he has.
Yeah, and I think you guys mentioned the Firebug episode. I really like that scene where he puts his goggles on and he's like seeing everyone on fire, and you're like,
it's like Elemental.
That's like a really it's just like Elemental. It's like a really brutal way to show something in a cartoon. That's like, oh, we're not actually showing people like
even the kids burning up.
Yeah, but it's like just to show that like how crazy he is. But yeah, I think this show's pretty like they're killing people off all the time. Bullock shoots him out the window. You know what I mean? Like it's pretty brutal. overall. Like, because in the animated series, they always would land in pools, you know?
Yeah.
They'd like fall out of the blimp and then he'd be like,
Did they have real guns in the animated series?
yeah, they did.
Because I know like
At the same time, he got
there were certain rules for other animated shows where it's like you can't have a bullet gun. You can have like a laser blaster gun.
yeah, they were shooting Tommy
because they had
guns.
Tommy guns.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, anytime someone would fall, you would always see them pop up. This one, like those dudes that drove off the cliff on the onomatopoeia episode, they're like flipped a couple times. I was like, oh, I don't think they're gonna make it. It was like exploded. I was like, oh,
Well, and
it exploded.
Even Firebug.
Yeah.
The way he just
gets shot out and then lands. Yeah. But and watching this, the one thing that bummed me out, I was like, it would have been nice to have Matt Reeves' Gotham City Police show.
Oh, thanks, James Gunn.
But I guess I'll settle for the cartoon. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
These type of stories, like it's really focused on the Gotham police. A lot of it.
Batman has almost been like a side character.
Yeah, he like shows up and he does some investigating, but it's like mostly the cops doing.
Well,
I'm like, that would have been. I would have loved to see that in live action.
Yeah.
Well, and then how dumb are you, WB?
Yeah,
How did you not want this show?
Yeah.
Like, how could you watch this and be like, no, we don't want it?
Yeah.
Zaslav, what are you doing? Like,
Yes,
and again, like, oh, let's just sell it to Prime. It's like, what are you doing? You own Batman. Why would you sell this off? It's like, it's silly. It's dumb. They make dumb decisions. I hope we get a season 2 because they set up some good things.
Hey, I heard that
Make
Bilma
hasn't
show's pretty good.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, except that gets a season 2. So
Jeez.
stupid.
And that's on HBO.
Yes.
Yeah.
They kept that.
That's ridiculous.
It's so dumb.
Bunch of idiots.
I don't get it. But hey,
I mean, I hope
keep doing your thing, Prime.
I feel like everything I've seen is people really like the show.
Yeah.
So hopefully it gets a season 2 because there was a little tease at the end.
Has the original Batman from 1939, has he entered public domain yet?
I don't think so.
Because I know like the Superman Fleischer stuff. I think that's in public domain now.
So we could have logos. I don't know.
Because I'm curious just what we'll see come up from that. Because I know a lot of people
Like the Winnie the
Like
Pooh
the Winnie the
horror
Pooh.
movies.
Oh my
You
god.
get some Batman horror movies.
It'll be interesting.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Real quick, the episode where with the assassins, I like that the assassin would be like pow bang, like make the noise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was like
I like that.
I like when he showed up and he's like, dun, dun, dun.
like, but even Batman punching him at the end is like pow, like that.
was
That
cool.
kind of stuff was.
I like the sound effect for the oil.
Yeah.
Like bloop.
But yeah, we enjoyed it. If you watched it, let us know what you thought. If you haven't, I think it's worth watching if you're a Batman fan. That's going to do it for our episode this week. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. You can find us on Instagram, YouTube. There's not going to be a YouTube video. Corey's not here. No film. But you can check it out wherever you get podcasts. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, everywhere. We're on TikTok, Instagram, X, Facebook. We'll be back next week with more of the Nerd Age Podcast. See you later.
See ya. Bye.